This is the Ninja team, but not as they appear in the show. That's right, every single minifigure you see here is non-canon, and there have been plenty of them over the years that we'll be looking at in this video. How many can you think of? Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, that Wu minifigure is canon. It was in all the early seasons of the show. But that's where you'd be wrong. See, this isn't the classic Wu suit, it's his 2012 outfit, which was available in Destiny's Bounty, the Epic Dragon Battle, and the Temple of Light. At first glance, the figure seems like an ordinary Wu, but removing the beard reveals a significantly different outfit for everyone's favourite sensei. So while Wu enjoyed a suit update in the sets, in the show he simply kept his original pilot suit from seasons 1 all the way to season 4. Wu didn't even change his normal outfit in the show until season 5 in 2015, where he ended up with 2 new ones, but never going back, making this 2012 minifigure the only Wu suit released in regular Ninjago sets to not appear in the show. Although he does also have more non-canon minifigures, 2 being from books and the Golden Wu anniversary figure. Here's Dareth from the Nindroid Battle Polybag. It's an old figure, and as such the face is a little bit worn, but that's okay because Dareth made other appearances in the Temple of Ejitsu and Ninjago City Docks and... oh, wait a minute, that's not Dareth's face. Yes, for some bizarre reason, despite a perfectly fine and accurate Dareth face being made in 2014, the next Dareth minifigures for some reason went for a completely wrong face. While admittedly the Temple of Ejitsu version has a great brown ninja outfit for the Master of Animals that did appear in the show, the version from 2018 instead just wears a black Wu Crew training suit. So there's nothing here that would stand out as Dareth if it weren't for the inclusion of the Mojo Dojo. Thankfully however, this year's Ninjago City markets brought Dareth back with a canon outfit and an accurate face print. This face was actually already in existence before this year and is available to buy on Pick-a-Brick, so you could use it to build an army of Dareth if you like. But if that's not for you, then at least you can use it to replace these old Dareth faces, bringing them in line with the original figure. Ah, perfect. Ninjago's gimmick sets often include special versions of the ninja, with 2012's NRG Figures being the first spinner exclusives. While technically non-canon, based exclusively on how they look, these minifigures are intended to represent each ninja's true potential form. But the same can't be said for some others. The Ejitsu figures were the first sign of things to come. Completely non-canon, but thankfully we did get a full collection of all 6 ninja. The same can't be said for other collections though. Starting in 2019 and never stopping, we keep ending up with half-complete ninja collections for non-canon NRG figures, and frankly I do think it's getting a bit boring. Either complete the collections or just give people a cheaper option for the ninja's regular outfits like with the original spinners. But I think the funniest example of this is with FS. Not only was this the first incomplete collection of NRG figures, but Kai wasn't even canon to the show. Kai never used the Forbidden Scrolls of Spinjitzu because his powers were stolen by a Sphera, which makes the Kai from the Fire Fang yet another funny inclusion. Despite never using it in the show, Kai ended up with 2 FS minifigures. On the opposite end of the spectrum though, I love it when LEGO uses the opportunity to include special non-canon ninja suits to complete a collection of canon suits, like the Tournament of Elements suits here. 4 were released in the 2015 set wave for Cole, Lloyd, Jay and Kai, but then in 2016 we got a brand new Tournament Zane minifigure. This figure of course never appeared in the show and was released in a 2016 battle pack alongside an exclusive Samurai X, whose face matches what we see in season 1, so you can use it to bring the original figure in line with how she appeared in the show. In any case, this Zane minifigure is really awesome, with torn robes showing his robotics below, but it also has an exclusive battle damaged face, with fantastic print that goes all around the side of his face. Such an improvement over the 2014 battle damage. Of course you can plop his hair on instead of the ZX mask, helping him fit in better with the other tournament figures, which all used half masks. This is a really awesome non-canon minifigure that fits in well with an existing suit collection. It didn't need to exist, but I'm really happy it does, even if it is battle damaged rather than a clean suit. Obviously this was before Nia became a ninja, so it doesn't need a minifigure for her, but if they ever do make one in the future, I wouldn't complain. This happened with the DX Ninja too. In 2011, Kai, Cole, Zane and Jay had these awesome suits with golden dragons printed upon them to show their mastery over dragon riding. But then in 2014, Lloyd joined the team with his own DX suit, a completely non-canon minifigure released exclusively in a Target minifigure pack. His design was very similar to Cole's, obviously because his golden dragon shared its head with Rocky the Earth Dragon. But unlike Tournament Zane, who was easy to obtain and is still an affordable minifigure today, Lloyd DX is very hard to come by. He sells for over $100 today, making him the most valuable Ninjago minifigure ever made as of the time of this video. A similar thing happened in 2021 when the ninja went underwater for Seabound, except these 2, but they still got scuba suits. Only these weren't special editions in a battle pack, they were in the mainline sets. Yes, the Seabound wave was kind enough to throw Kai and Cole into the Hydro Bounty, and some other sets, letting us complete our diving ninja collection, even if in the show they simply spent all their time above the water. Despite being a sub-theme that remade sets from the past, Legacy certainly had its fair share of non-canon minifigures, like these epic battle suits. Each ninja came with a training suit in their sets, accompanied by a villain from Ninjago's past. There was no real uniformity between the suits, each ninja had a completely different outfit. I think Jay had the best suit of this bunch though, with this awesome white and blue robe, making for a nice change to the predominantly blue colour scheme we're so used to for the Master of Lightning. And while Legacy 1 suits made it into the show in Season 10, the same wasn't true for the Legacy 2 suits. These suits were obviously based around the tournament robe designs, and were released throughout different Legacy sets based on Rebooted and the Tournament of Elements. They're similar to the original suits, but I don't think they're as good in my opinion. In any case, it's another collection of Legacy figures that ultimately never made it into the show. While 2018's Spinjitzu Masters were possibly some of the worst suits we've seen, the Summer Waves Dragon Master minifigures were really quite excellent. Instead of going for a weird new NRG form like most gimmicks nowadays, we instead got these awesome flight jumpsuits for the ninja, including a golden suit for Wu. All of these suits are incredibly similar, but I do think they look really good. But despite all of that, they never got a canon appearance. And that's a real shame, because they do make a lot of sense, changing out of their battle damage hunted suits to ride the dragons back to Ninjago. This is currently the most recent minifigure, released in a book in October of this year, and of course it is Lloyd as a samurai. Yeah, it's a pretty weird suit, exclusively from the new Secret World of the Ninja book. A strange inclusion, especially when there are still plenty of canon designs to choose from. Obviously at this moment in time we've never seen Lloyd wear a samurai suit in the show, so it's not really based on anything in particular. I do love how well it matches up with the crystallized Samurai Nia minifigure though, and so it would be really funny to see this mark the start of an alternate universe Samurai Go world, where all of the ninja were instead samurai. But for now it's just him. It's only had one set wave, but Dragons Rising has already started its own non-canon collection. Yep, new Ninja Arin and Sora already have a non-canon variant each. Both of these minifigures were released in LEGO stores as part of the Build a Minifigure section. You could simply walk into the store, grab these parts to build them, and buy them. Or you could buy them on places like eBay. Arin has an awesome ninja training suit and an exclusive face print. It also serves as a great way to get his hairpiece without buying the enormous Ninjago City markets. Same goes for Sora, whose hair was also exclusive to markets. She has an exclusive face too, depowered and smiling. And then there's Jay. Yes, once again another ninja suit appearing in a set wave that is completely absent from the show. Funnily enough, it's my favourite of the Dragons Rising suits. I think the general design all of these suits use works really well with Jay's colour scheme. As we all know, Jay only had about 30 seconds of screen time in the season, popping up in the administration decked out in a black suit, and has presumably forgotten all about his life before the merge. So despite appearing in two sets like the earlier Scuba suits, this figure is completely non-canon, and probably never will be. It does give us a new face for Jay thankfully, with a great angry expression for him. Even if we're still awaiting their reunion in the show, at least we once again get a unified collection for the Guardians of Ninja, even if one of these suits never appeared on screen. All of these suits might be non-canon, but they all have an important place in the 25-year history of LEGO Ninja that you can explore by clicking on screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video.